Hello y'all, I am back on this exercise bike. So this video is going to be about the real reason it's happening or it's talked about as often as it is. Because sometimes when we watch videos or we know what's going on in the world, we just look at the surface. However, I've always been pretty good about getting to the root of the grudge, right? Along with having experience. I'm a mom, right? So I have some experience in this area that I'm going to share. So there's a big attack on women with kids. There's this in these what they call these, I guess, YouTube streets, as some people would call it, right? And there's also an attack on men, right? So you get all these different opinions from both sides. And the reasons that the opinions are being stated and talked about is because some of it's true. Some of it's actually true. When they're saying toxic things about the women, some of it's true. When they're saying toxic things about the men or the men and women being toxic, some of it's true. But first, I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough time to do both sides in this video, so I might have to upload a part two. I'll have to see. But the first thing I'm going to go over is the area where I have the most experience because I am a woman and I am a mother. Like I said, I don't have little bitty kids no more. Those days are over. However, the experience is still there. And so this is one of the things that I've learned. And remember this, for men, I'm talking to you. And for women, I'm talking to you when it comes to this part. Your good will be attacked. Your good will be envied. Your good will be used against you. Your good will be copied. Your good will be wanted by others. Your good will be admired. Your good is your good. It's just your good, right? So the thing is, you got to remember is this. People can't stand rejection. Not just narcissists, but empathic people too. So let's begin with the mothers, okay? The single mothers. People are told in videos, don't date single mothers, they're bad people. That's the worst relationship in the world. Why is this being said by all of these men or certain men, right? Well, for one, it's being said because most of them have been hurt by one. And when I say hurt by a single mother, I don't mean that she was necessarily the problem in the relationship. See, I can witness to this. Men, they go into relationships with single moms with a plan, an agenda that's only theirs now. It's not the woman's plan. It's not a compromise and it's not even a team. When anybody goes into a relationship with their own agenda and they're not making the other person aware of the agenda, or sometimes they are, the man may make the woman aware of what his agenda is, and she's not going along with it, right? So they've been hurt by women, right? With kids. And so this is the thing. You got to remember this. Most single mothers already have a way to take care of themselves and their children. I don't care if she works, she's on welfare, she has a business. She's figured out a way because she's empathetic. A lot of mothers are empathetic. She's figured out a way to properly care for her children, or a way, she has a financial way to take care of her children, no matter what it is. I'm not talking about no illegal business. I'm talking about just a regular mom, right? Not no, she's a big drug dealer in the community. She's in the prostitution. I'm not talking about those type of situations. I'm just talking about in general, just a basic mom, right? And so when men go into relationships with women that have kids and they have an agenda, sometimes the agenda that they have, it's pretty much manipulation. So a lot of men, not to say all, but some men are looking for a place to stay, right? Some men know that they're never going to marry or live with that woman and those kids. However, he wants to be her permanent sex buddy for the rest of her life. And so that's his agenda. That's the narcissist. That's the manipulation. And what happens is men, some of them, assume that it's going to work, right? Because she has to have some kind of low self esteem. A lot of women with children, somehow, I don't know what it is, we're considered desperate, right? Or needy. But what happens is a mother that's actually doing the job full time and making a way for the kids and really have some genuine interest in the kids, getting them in sports activities, getting them some extra tutoring if they need it, telling them I love them. I mean, you really love your children, genuinely. You didn't have these kids to get no extra paycheck. You just ended up with the kids. You love the kids. You could be divorced, or you could not have ever been married to the man. Each situation is different. But what happens is, oftentimes what's overlooked is a mother is mature, right? So motherhood matured me. It made me smarter in a lot of areas. And also it put me in a protection state. It made me a protector. So if you have natural maternal instinct, you're going to be a protector. So a lot of these men that are mad because single mothers broke up with them, that's why they talk about them so bad, y'all. They mad because somebody that's a single mother left they behind, right? A lot of them had agendas like this. They want to molest your kids. They want to rape your kids, whether you have boys or girls. But this is what happened. Some single mothers, they brought the narcissist in the house, and this narcissist knew they were a pedophile, and they knew what their plans were. But the single mother said, come on, let's all go. I'm going to work. And the narcissist is thinking, well, I'm supposed to be staying here with the kids today. That's what he thought. That's what his agenda was. He thought he was staying home with your kids that day, right? Because some single mothers were almost groomed and they don't even realize it, but they stuck to their standard. I don't leave no men around my kids. Whether my kids are boys and girls, I don't leave men that I'm dating to babysit my kids. So he finds out, well, goodness, I'm not going to be able to really molest these kids. Wow. And this is where the hatred comes. In his soul, he hates you because he was molested when he was a little boy, and he was looking for a victim. He wanted to molest somebody too, and he thought, wow, well, a single mother should be an easy one. All I got to do is treat her good and be friendly and cool with the kids, get the kids to like me. I know she going to leave her kids with me. Wrong. So now all of a sudden, this one hates single mothers. He has a hatred of, he just hate them so bad because he pissed off because he wasn't able to act out his pedophilia. They get mad like that, y'all. Serial killers too. They still sitting up in prison. Some of them that wasn't executed, mad about the one that hit him with the purse when he tried to kidnap her and ran across the forest park or ran around one of the trees to get away from him. People hold grudges behind things they weren't able to do to you. So that's just one example, because a lot of men, those narcissist men, they had ill will towards these women, and they just make a lot of assumptions. A lot of times they're assuming that you're more sexual than you are. I've turned down a lot of come-ons due to that, because, oh, you have children, so you must like to get it in all the time. How do this man know that the child didn't get here due to a one-night stand? See all these assumptions. So what happens is there's a lot of assumptions made. If you're a single mother and you don't have a car, the narcissist wants to start offering you a lot of rides so he can get to know where your address is and stuff like that. And if you don't fall for that, you made that narcissist mad. But the bottom line is, a lot of the single women that have children, they're mature, and a lot of these men have just been hurt and let down. And a lot of times this happens. Okay, they say, well, oh, they just want to use the woman for intimacy or whatever, and then they don't want to be a stepdad to the children. So another thing that happens, the children get older. See, these children won't stay children forever. And they know that the narcissist didn't want to be their stepdad, didn't want to marry their mom. And a lot of these women were really good women. And a lot of these narcissists got pretty close to these women kids. So then the kids grow up. The woman has pretty much, or their mom has already pretty much left the narcissist. So then the narcissist sees the kids in the community. They're out, right? The kids look right in the narcissist's face and won't even speak. So then the narcissist is hurt again. So see, when narcissists get with women and kids, or get with a woman that has kids, not and get with the kids, he's not getting with the kids. When he gets with a woman that has kids, he's not only hurt by the breakup or the discard from the mother, because he's discarded by that woman with those kids. He's also discarded by her children. So usually in these type of situations, he doesn't get anything out of the kids as far as respect. And he's not going to get anything out of them if he's a pedophile, because that particular mom has a rule not to leave her kids alone with anybody that ain't their real daddy. So, and a lot of times some of them get violent in front of the mother and the kids, or the mother and her kids. It's just so many reasons, but in my opinion, some of the information is accurate. I get it's some really bad women. Not all women with kids have good intentions towards men. I get that. Some of them have an agenda. But the situations I've seen, they genuinely love the man that they're with. I mean, you got to remember, okay, a mother, she's got more experience with how to love, right? So The Lord has gave her a child or children to love. So she knows how to do that and not just love her children, but love her boyfriend, fiance, or husband, if that's the case. And some narcissists, males and men, are mad because they've lost that love. It's all about a grudge thing, y'all. That's what it's about. I've experienced it. And so I know what I'm talking about in this area. A narcissist that I was dealing with at some point, he was older. He wasn't my same age, right? So, and when I say older, I don't mean like he was old enough to be my dad. He wasn't that old. But he ended up pretty much overall alone. So, in my opinion, there was some form of jealousy because when we were going back and forth with the discards, he even said to me, well, at least you got your children, you know. And I'm like, wow. Well, I'm thinking to myself, well, you could have had all of us, me and the children. I mean, he didn't realize at the time what we meant, right? Because genuinely, I want to point this out too. The children love the narcissist, right? And I was told, you got some really good children or whatever. This was many, many years ago. But at the same time, he ended up just being an older man that was alone, bitter, and angry because he had lost numerous supply sources. And I was one of them. But see, he had an agenda too. And he had a lot of assumptions that he had made on how it was going to turn out. I was going to probably keep him around because I was very loyal. That's another thing. These men, when they lose mothers that have children, they miss the loyalty. They go out here and they find out, well, I'm going to date Sally over here. Sally's a cute name, y'all. No offense if your name's Sally. I'm going to date Sally over here, and she has no kids. But my goodness, she at the club every night getting the phone number. So they find that trying to go outside of being with a mother with children is not benefiting them because every time he go to Sally's house, she got a new BMW and a Mercedes parked out there because some other man's at her house. You see what I mean? So at the end of the day, a lot of the manosphere, they've been hurt by mothers with children. And this is why a lot of them are mad too. I'm going to use myself as an example, right? On why this may trigger some of these men. I don't care, right? See, they have no value to me. First of all, I'm not married to them, okay? They're not the children's father. My children were smart enough to know to walk past the narcissist and not even say hello. But the thing is this, when my children went through their little teenage phases and stuff like that, I might see one of my children out and they walk past me and run down the sidewalk away from me on a scooter. Because there's something called rebellion, right? So, like I told the narcissist, oh, well, my teenager didn't speak. Well, he just rolled by me on a scooter or bike and didn't speak to me neither. So see, narcissists, they take stuff too personal. I rectified that and got that under control, but teenagers do weird things. However, the difference between me and the narcissist is this. The narcissist had a guilty conscience because the narcissist knew his agenda was never to be their stepfather in the real sense of the word. Yes, he did good deeds, but his intentions was never to be their stepfather. I didn't have that guilt. I raised my son or daughter their entire life. So when that summer came and they was riding by me on scooters and bikes, not speaking to me, acting like they didn't see me, it wasn't as big of a deal. So the narcissist has all this guilt. So that's the last thing I'm going to mention. When it comes to women with children, the narcissist has the greatest level of shame, not guilt, because they don't care for real what they did to you. They just have a greater level of shame because at the end of the day, a child came into their life that they had an opportunity to help and refused to help. And so at the end of the day, they don't have that good deed on them. And a lot of times, the woman with kids, children, treats that narcissist that didn't want to be the stepdad better than his own children do. So he's in shame about that too. So that's part of why it's happening, the attack on mothers with children. That's just some of what it is. I mean, there's so much more to it. So please like, share, and subscribe, y'all. I've been on this bike almost 22 minutes. Please share the video. I love y'all so much. Bye.